he's the organiser in this year's air shows. Now, how many years have you been doing this air show then?
Well, I've been doing it for about 10 years now, and it's gradually built up. We did have a 3-day event once, but that was quite complex. We've decided just to stick with the 1 day because we get a better crowd and it's more focused, and we're able to put on a better show and concentrate it all into the 1 day, which is what we've got here.
Definitely. We just had the Lancaster up there on the Red Arrows, of course, as well. Fantastic bunch of guys there as well. So what else can we expect today at the air show?
Well, we've got a few warbirds. We tried to put on the aircraft that are in the museum, but of course old aeroplanes break down more frequently than the new ones, and when they do break down they need repairing, so they take a lot longer. But we've replaced some things. There's a Kitty Hawk, there's a Mustang, so we've got our old airplanes, we've got the new airplanes. Shortly we've got the Blades, which are for extras, and those extras are flown by 4 ex-RAF pilots. Not just RAF pilots, but 4 ex-Red Arrow pilots. Not just 4 ex-Red Arrow pilots, but they're all from the Harrier Force. So they're all very well-known guys, and we're about to see them now, and they're very, very good.
Fantastic. Furthermore, what's the plan for next year then? Obviously this year's been a success. Any big plans for next year?
The date's already set in concrete. It's the same weekend as this weekend. I don't know the date, but it is on again for next year at East Fortune. Of course, this year it's the only show in Scotland, because the one at Lucas is no longer on. The RAF were going to have one a bit further north, and then there was one over near Glasgow. But they've all gone for various reasons. So this is the only show in town.
So obviously a lot more people going to this one this year, yeah?
Well, I think it's a good crowd. We had a good crowd last year, and we almost had to close the gates. It's a good crowd here, and I think it's
also a great site for the show here as well, especially with the National Museum being here in Concord, etc.
Well, of course, one of the advantages of having an air show at a museum site is that you've already got something to see, even if it's raining. It's like a seaside show. If the airplanes don't come, you've always got something else to do. But if you just go to an airfield site where it's just an airfield, that's all you're going to get. So the advantage of having a museum here is very good. And there's some very interesting stuff there in the hangars.
Definitely. We've been around some things from the older Lancaster getting repaired from right through to the Harrier jet as well. It's fantastic to actually be up that close as well. Obviously for the public air shows, you might not actually be that close to the aircraft.
No, you're not that close, but if the speed's here going, you don't really want to be any much closer than that. But the thing is that if you're in excess of 300 knots out there on the air show, you have to be 230 metres away from the crowd. But if you're a helicopter doing less than 100 knots, you can come to within 50 metres of the crowd. And that's what we're going to see this afternoon. We will be moving stuff closer to the crowd according to their speed.
Yes, we spoke to the Chinook pilot earlier, and he said he had a few tricks up his sleeve anyway.
Well, the Chinook is quite a big, lumbering aeroplane. Well, you might think it's lumbering. It is not. It's a very agile helicopter, and David Trail will put it through its paces. It stops the show at some of the air shows. He's won prizes with it.
Okay, well, I appreciate you talking to us. Obviously, you're busy today with everything going on in there, and the air displays constantly happening just near to non-stop. So do thank you for listening. And what radio station do you listen to?
What radio station do I listen to? Yours.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining. I'm Ryan Dunlop for Hits Radio.